All right, let's do this thing. Enough about Sarah and McKellen.
Welcome to this episode of the Mystery Cast right here on Tales of Earth, the show that we live stream every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern, right here at Comic Storian on Twitch, twitch.tv/Comic Storian.
Why are you channeling?
I don't know. What am I channeling?
Kirk. Today,
I don't know.
on Comic Story.
That's actually a really good Kirk.
Thank you. That is very
really
good.
If you want to support,
introduce the next one.
Yes. If you want to support us, you can support us right here at twitch.tv/Comic Story by doing all the wonderful things that you do here. You can also go to patreon.com/Comic Story where you get early access to some of these, to this show, as well as other shows and some other cool stuff. You can support us by subscribing to Tales of Earth on YouTube, where this show is also posted for your information. You can also support us if you feel like it, if the spirit moves, by buying Tales of Earth merch. Like this shirt.
We're wearing the same, if you couldn't tell.
You know, we're going to get to a point where nobody's going to understand what that even means ever again.
What do you mean?
What happens in Area 51? Because we made that joke about
right.
when they were storming the gates. And we're, a couple
I think it's a timeless
decades
joke.
from
No.
now.
It's
for
a
us
timeless joke.
And
Yeah.
our audience.
Yes.
Those that watch this show will get
This
the
is true.
joke.
I'm going
That's
to
all that
make a
matters.
quick prediction here.
Okay.
100 years from now, Area 51 is going to be a theme park.
Yes.
Oh,
And
I completely agree.
The conspiracy will be Area 52.
Bought by Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah, Disney's going to buy Area 51.
They buy it from the government.
Yeah.
And just turn it into a theme park.
Like, wow.
Plot twist.
Area 51 land.
Plot twist. The reason why we've never been there is because they are in the process of building the best theme park
Ever.
this entire time.
I would go there. And all of the animatronic aliens, real aliens.
Real aliens. I was just going to say, like that spaceship ride
Legit.
is actually taking you into space,
Yeah,
but you don't realize it.
That'd be really cool, actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, keep going
That
with the opening.
that dimensional portal, it's so realistic.
Like I was on an alien world.
I lost my
goodness.
arm. It felt so real.
Look, it's still gone.
You can like one of
So realistic.
the interactive activities is blowing up something with the Death Star, but it's actually the moon. That's really the Death Star. You're actually shooting at crap.
Oh man.
Sorry, keep
Well.
going with the opening. What show are we on?
Welcome to this episode of Plausible Deniability. Every week on Tales of Earth.
Really
That would have
name of a
been
show.
that would have been much better of a name.
Yeah.
Plausible deniability.
That's really good. Can we rename Mystery Cast again?
Why not?
I like
Plausible
that.
deniability.
It's a really good
Why
title.
did you name it Mystery Cast? Plausible deniability.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna
So
lie, I
today,
really like that title.
Or
Today-
we'll just have a shirt of all three of us, and it'll just say at the bottom, plausible deniability.
Just shrugging.
or maybe not.
Or maybe not.
Or maybe not.
We'll have the Illuminandi, or maybe not.
And then
just
plausible deniability.
plausible deniability.
And then on the back is just a really fine print, a list of every single conspiracy ever.
I was
Maybe a big
actually
t-shirt,
going to
big
say
t-shirt.
Gary should have the one that just says, "What up, fools?"
What up, fools?
That's a good one, too,
yeah,
actually.
yeah, with my very, I don't know, nerdy face with glasses, because it's just you can't.
Isn't that kind of
I think
redundant? Nerdy
it's-
face with glasses.
No. You can have a nerdy face without glasses.
That is true. Not
I
everybody
guess.
with
Yeah.
glasses.
This
Or
is true. Whenever
not everybody-
Houston's not wearing his glasses,
I think
just do
I
think,
have a theory.
That's a nerd.
Every single human
It's a
being
nerdy
is a
face.
walking stereotype of some kind.
Oh yeah, I'm a walking stereotype of a
Everybody.
person.
Well,
I'm
that's
not.
true. Yeah,
I'm not.
I'm just saying. British guy likes tea.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree with
Nerdy
that.
guy with glasses like Star Trek and computers.
And his gluten
Go
free.
figure. And it's gluten free.
Yeah.
Andy's.
Andy.
I mean, come on.
pretty bad.
We are not even on topic yet. This
Nope,
is amazing.
We haven't even fully gone through the intro.
No, actually, we
sorry.
did. We finished the intro.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the
I don't think I
extended
forgot anything.
edition.
Yeah.
it was the Kirk edition. We should just have him on here.
Captain Kirk?
Yeah.
Not
No, Captain Kirk.
Captain
Yes.
Kirk. Okay.
Take
Yeah,
the
yeah.
hint, Andy.
Yeah. All right. So today we are talking about spies
Like us.
like us.
It's a good
Plausible deniability.
Or maybe not.
Yeah, it's a movie, right?
It is Spies Like Us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys can think of some, rather famous fictional spies. Oh, we need to turn those.
Yeah,
let
me go.
Those speakers need to.
All right,
go
everybody
off.
calm. Everybody pause.
Calm down.
Ben forgot to do something.
Go scream at him.
We should go
I will.
fire.
We should fire that asshole.
Fire that intern. That new intern we got is terrible.
What did you say his name was? Harold or
Sven.
something? Sven? Harold, Sven, same difference.
It's Harold Svenningson.
It's Sven, but he talks with an awful accent. Anyway, keep going. All right, so famous
What-
spies.
Well, famous
James Bond.
spies. Okay, what comes to your mind
Spies.
when you think of spies?
James Bond,
Okay.
Born Identity, or Jason Bourne.
Jason Bourne.
yeah.
Yes.
What is it? Johnny English?
Johnny English
Johnny
is a good one.
English.
Yeah. Austin Powers.
In like Flynn.
What?
It's an old
Archer?
60s.
Archer?
Archer's a good one,
Yeah. Okay. What are some other famous spies?
yeah. Jack Ryan.
Yes. That's a good one.
Yeah, yeah.
The
Solid-
entire
solid
show
Snake.
of American or America?
The Americans.
The Americans, that's the
Yeah.
one.
I tried to watch it. I couldn't get into it.
I only saw the ads and I was like, that doesn't look interesting.
It's dry.
I liked the
It's
idea,
pretty dry.
but
Yeah,
it
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
look like
Yep.
executed it.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
the-
yeah.
The presentation is pretty dry.
Jack Bauer.
Jack Bauer.
Spy, counterterrorism.
Yeah. Kiefer Sutherland
Kiefer Sutherland, just in general, is a spy.
is a spy.
Pretty
Steve
sure.
Trevor.
Steve Trevor from
Steve Trevor.
DC Comics.
DC
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's
Or
kind of hard to stand out
Grayson.
as like
I guess.
Captain America. No,
Not really
No,
a spy.
Steve Trevor. Steve Trevor. Yeah, you said DC. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
I always get them mixed up. Steve Trevor and Steve
Rogers.
Yeah, but they are kind
Come
of
on.
like
Not even
they're kind of
similar at all.
no, not similar.
Not
Are
at
you
all.
saying that all Steves look alike?
all
Yeah.
Steves? All
I mean, granted,
Andys.
they're both blonde, blue-eyed.
That's what I'm saying.
essentially
like,
the same person.
they're essentially
Yeah,
the same
that's
person.
what I meant.
Like yeah. All right. Well, it may surprise you, but there are real spies.
What?
In history and in the world
No.
today. And it goes back to ancient times.
Ye oldie spies.
Ye oldie spies.
Ye old spice.
Yes. Sun Tzu, the
spelled
author of The
wine.
Art of War, mentioned spies. The Syrian Empire had spies.
Ninjas.
And, believe it or
technically
not,
spies in a
ninjas were
way.
technically spies. They actually often posed as farmers,
Yeah.
That's true. Yes.
which
I
is
know
why
that
a lot of
'cause
their
we did
weapons
that
are
special video, which
yeah,
is on this
a
channel.
lot of their weapons are like farm-based tools, which is really fascinating. And believe it or not, this may be a stretch for some of you, okay? But I need you to open your minds. America has had spies.
What?
Yeah.
No.
I know. I was totally surprised.
Jason Bourne.
Jason
How did we not
Bourne.
think of Jason
No,
Bourne?
no.
I said
Matt
Jason Bourne.
Damon.
How did you not say it loud enough?
Okay, Matt Damon is the real Jason Bourne. They made the movies for plausible deniability.
That makes sense.
Yeah. He actually, Matt
we
Damon is
also-
his cover name. He doesn't remember his real life.
Then we had the second Bourne that was
Ben
trying
Affleck.
to get the Bourne, but
Jeremy
wasn't.
Renner.
Yes, Jeremy
Yeah,
Renner.
yeah.
Ben Affleck
Good
was
old
his
Hawkeye.
trainer, and so they've posed as best friends.
What a sweet story.
It's a very sweet story. Yeah, he kind of helped him through. He's like, listen, you can't be a spy
He was
anymore.
wicked, Matt.
Yeah. Such a good movie. Anyway, top 10 famous spies in history.
Black Widow.
Yes, that's
I
another
wish-
good one.
Real,
Yeah.
real quick
Mhm.
before we go into it, though, Christopher Lee was actually a spy during World War II.
I believe it.
Yes,
I
he was
believe
part
it.
of the Gentleman Spies.
Gentlemen spies.
That's what they were called.
Yeah. You don't really see him coming. You're like, oh, that guy can't be a spy. He's such a gentleman. No.
Stab me. Actually, that is a
still
fantastic
stabbing.
movie.
Yes, gentlemen spies.
No, it's basically about gentlemen spies.
Oh,
Kingsman?
Kingsman.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was going to say League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, but that was not spies. That was,
You know, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Spy.
Oh,
That would be a great book.
that would be a really cool one.
Okay, Nathan Hale, 1755 to 1776. Nathan Hale was known as the first American spy, in quotations, that we know of.
But it's also bolded, so you know it's real.
Oh, yes. During
it's
the
on the
American
internet.
Revolutionary War in 1775, he served as captain in the Continental Army. During the Battle of Long Island, he volunteered to go behind the enemy lines on an intelligence gathering mission. Monitoring the movements of the British, he disguised himself as a Dutch teacher. I can imagine him like faking really
bad Dutch accents. Yeah,
but he
yeah.
eventually
He's
got
just
caught.
walking around in clogs.
But he, we're like, those Dutch people.
I mean, weirdos.
Yeah. But he eventually got caught in a tavern by the British because
So
he was
he's
walking
drunk.
around in clogs.
Not even drunk. He's just, yeah, totally. No, seriously, I'm a spy. I swear. He's trying to get some bartender, some barmaid.
See, this spy is actually the reason why Austin Powers' dad hates the Dutch.
Oh, yeah.
It's
yeah.
because he wanted to get
yes.
sent
Yeah,
on
yeah.
this mission, but
Yeah.
he was like, no.
Yep.
Nathan Hale was tried and found guilty and ultimately was hanged when he was only 21 years old. Young guy. Wow.
Wow.
And supposedly gave the quote of, I Was his only regret that he only has one life to give for his country or something like that.
Was that him?
I
Really?
believe that
I
was
know the
supposed to be
quote.
Nathan
I think I know the
Hale,
quote. Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I'm
I
pretty
kind
sure
of wish
it
that was
supposed to
in
be
there.
Nathan
That's a
Hale.
cool quote.
Yeah. There's actually a
Supposedly,
lot of
that was his last
well,
words before he was hanged. Supposedly.
That's a good quote.
Or maybe not.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. I mean, we weren't
Yeah, I
there.
mean,
to be
it's
honest.
true.
Like it's
Yeah.
it's the American Revolution. So 100 years from now, when we were writing history books, we could have been like, yeah, sure, that sounds
that's
good.
totally
It was
said that.
actually some guy way in the background going, my only regret is that I only have one life to... I didn't say it. You can't deny it.
Now, the Revolutionary War actually really kind of solidified an entire like spy ring in the United States. The Culpers are a very famous spy group from the Revolutionary War. And I'm sure the British had. I believe they had spies as well.
Oh, they did. Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
every
We call them
side
traitors, but yeah, they had spies.
traitors. Yeah, exactly. I can imagine.
I mean,
like,
realistically, if we caught them, that's what they were at that point.
I would like to think that like spies are like thieves. They have like a code of honor. You run into another spy, you're like, you're a spy? I'm a spy.
Well, I mean, in the James Bond universe, they always have to bang each other. So
That's true. Yeah. There's only one way to prove that you're a
Yeah.
spy, and then I'm a spy.
we must bang.
I don't know. Mr. and Mrs. Smith proved that that's not always the case.
Now
And
they
your
got
only
married. That was the
agency-
problem.
When they got married and they didn't know that
I
they were
assume
spies.
they banged.
Yeah, no, just banging would have
yeah.
been fine. As then they got married. That's when
Oh,
the
you're
issue.
saying
yeah,
the
yeah.
marriage was the problem.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah, see,
No,
folks,
it was
don't get
being
married.
and not being honest with your spouse and telling your
That
spouse
you're a
that you're a
spy.
spy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's okay. I won't hold it against you because I'm also a spy.
No way, me too.
Am I, for the record, isn't that those kind of movies when they like start like revealing secret weapons?
They
they've
have guns
stashed
throughout the house,
I
yeah.
always think, what if
How did
one of them
nobody-
was hiding it and they were like, you know what, I'm gonna hide it in this spot. Why is there a gun already
Yeah,
here?
somebody else thought it was
Like-
a good place.
Yeah.
It's
just
like,
put my
I can
45
imagine. I can imagine one of them be like, "Honey, what's your social security number? Which one? I mean, 41."
Yeah, that's what I
Uh,
meant.
That's what I meant. Like, no, that's that one. Okay, number 2, Isabella Marie Boyd, 1843 to 1900. Best known as Belle Boyd or Cleopatra of the Succession. That's
Sure.
a great title. Isabella Marie
It's
Boyd.
a little wordy though. You're like, what's your code name? Cleopatra of the Succession. Like, does not roll off the tongue.
Just call me CS. I don't know. Isabella Marie Boyd was a Confederate spy in the American Civil War. She operated from her father's hotel and provided Confederate generals with valuable information. Her lover gave her up and she was arrested in 1862. She remained in prison for a month, was released, and then left for England. Her contributions earned her the Southern Cross of Honor. She died of a heart attack when she was 57. So I find it interesting that, that you would like flee to England, which is pretty much
Well, she didn't flee. It says
well,
she
left.
was released and she just
she
left.
for England,
Yeah, yeah.
which is probably like
She's like, fine, I'm gonna
I don't
start
wanna
my
be-
own country. Blackjack.
Blackjack and hookers. You know what? Screw the country and the blackjack.
I'm just going to England.
Oh man, I think it's pretty safe to say that if you have any opposition with another country, another organization, there's probably spies.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like companies do this all the time.
Yeah.
Where they'll send somebody in, get hired on, they stay there for a while, get the information they need.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
bail,
Corporate
and then they bail.
espionage.
Corporate espionage. Yes, that's what it's called, or maybe not.
No, I think that is what it's called.
That's what it's
No,
called.
it's
Yeah.
definitely what it's called.
So yeah, cool. Confederate spy. Yeah. All right. Mata Hari, 1876 to 1917. Mata Hari is one of the most famous spies of World War I who charmed German and French military officers with her exotic dancing skills.
As you guys can tell, the whole thing from like Black Widow of women being trained as spies is very, very common.
Oh, it's very
'cause
accurate. Well, it was
back then people. I mean, sexism was so much.
They just
bigger
assumed that you couldn't have been.
Exactly.
It was what did they call it in
She
Russia?
can't be a spy. She has boobs.
Right. They what did they? It was an actual organization in Russia.
The Red Room.
The Red Room. The actual what were they called? The women spies, the female spies. They just made a movie about it. Red
Black
Sparrows.
Widow?
Red Sparrows.
Oh yeah, Red Sparrows.
Yeah, was it?
I was
yeah,
like,
Red
Black Widow.
Sparrows.
That's a Marvel movie.
Yeah. So the idea of training women to be spies
Yes.
because they
Yeah.
are not usually suspected of spyery.
Plus, men are easy to seduce.
They
That's
are.
what I've learned from
exactly.
everything.
So a lot of the like implications that like when you're a female spy, you obviously use your female wiles to get your way
Wiles.
comes from primarily from Russia.
Yeah.
And the way they used women as spies.
And I do actually find it kind of funny when sometimes people will be like, "Oh, it's only the women do that." No, have you seen how many people James
Oh.
Bond sleeps with?
Oh yeah, it goes both
he's a
ways.
spy.
He's like
Archer.
He's like, does the evil mastermind have a wife? No problem. I'll have that information in half hour.
Half an hour.
I'm
20
really
minutes.
good.
20 minutes. I'm having a
that's-
good day.
yeah.
15
Yeah.
minutes for cuddling. And that's when I get the information.
50 minutes for cuddling. Like, hey, I'm not a, like, anyway. She didn't mind sleeping with the enemy to gather important intelligence
Well, who
information
doesn't?
for the German military. Mata Hari was identified after French intelligence intercepted a German military radio signal. She was executed by firing squad in 1917. Yeah. Number 4, Klaus Fuchs. I don't know.
Futches. Definitely not that.
Not Futches?
I would say
Nin-
Fuchs.
1911 to
Futches.
1988. Klaus Fuchs was a German theoretical physicist who worked on the hydrogen bomb project. He played a very important role in completing theoretical calculations related to the first fission weapons. He earned his PhD in physics from England while working on the British atomic bomb project. He leaked information to the Soviets. He started working in Los Alamos in 1944 and compromised important data on the production of uranium-235. This helped. Well, data is the
Data.
actual like pronunciation. Star Trek fans have a tendency to call it data.
Sorry.
This helped the Soviets to know how many bombs there were in the United States. After being caught, he confessed and was sentenced to 14 years in prison. That's it?
That's actually pretty good for a spy.
Wow.
We usually killed him.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, he was a scientist, so I can almost guarantee they made him do sciencey
Probably.
things.
He was okay. Get
Science
this. This guy
Or
got
maybe
off.
not.
This guy got off easy. He was sent to Germany after serving 9 years in prison. He didn't even serve his full sentence. Germany probably paid a lot of money for this guy.
Or they were like,
Yeah.
no, we want to kill him. Can you send him our way?
Let us do it.
Something like that. Yeah.
You haven't got anything to do since World War II.
Well, it just seems like this guy
getting
just had
bored over here.
It seems like this guy just had no allegiance.
Yeah,
To anybody.
He's just
Yeah.
selling money to, or
Yeah.
selling secrets to everybody who would pay him.
Pretty much. Yeah. Look what that got him.
More of a merc than
Yeah.
an information merc.
Put that on
Info
a
merc.
resume.
Info merc.
Yeah. Says here on your resume you were an infomerc. What is that? Oh, you see.
funny story.
Yeah,
Well, it depends how much money you got.
depends how much money you got. Yeah.
I tell you, but you have to hire me first.
Yeah. Can you imagine that being in the interview? Like, well, basically, I enter an organization. I get hired in.
Just explain it to him. Yeah, we're not going to hire you.
Yeah, right.
Damn it.
Lost another job. Man, nobody wants to hire you as an infomerc. Okay, number 5, Richard Sorge. Sorge? I don't know. 1895 to 1944. Richard Sorge, a German communist, is one of the most famous spies who worked for the Soviet Union. It's always Germany, Soviet Union, or the United States.
They're also
he gained.
incredibly famous for me never having heard of any of these people before.
Yeah.
Well, you don't obviously
spies.
run in a lot of spy circles like us.
Yeah.
Have you heard these names
Yeah.
before?
Wait. Which spy circles?
I've said too much. Keep reading, Gary.
It's a spy
I want to
triangle.
know. Like, who do you
a
know?
spy
I mean,
angle.
do you know the people I know? Like, we should have a party, like a barbecue.
Yeah. All the
Top
spies
secret
get
barbecue.
together.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about anything. Just a lot of people staring at each other.
Nobody
Not
trusts the
attention.
nobody
Nobody
trusts
trusts
the
anybody.
food.
Yeah,
like nobody
nothing,
eats, nobody
nothing.
drinks. Just like
Just a lot of tension.
Yeah, it's
Just
really
people
tense
like-
barbecue at my house.
a lot of people doing this thing.
No one turns
Looking
their
around.
back to anyone.
Occasionally,
Oh,
everybody
hey.
kinda hands drift towards pistols every now and then.
They
That
don't
would
even
be
drift.
great.
Everyone's just like,
Oh man.
oh my goodness.
I always
Yeah.
keep my hand right at the small of my back for no particular reason.
You're like, wow, you're the one guy there who's not a spy who doesn't know what's going on. You're like, wow, this is a
I
really
just
weird.
also invited my neighbor over.
Yeah.
Like, this is a really weird barbecue. What's going on here?
Tension.
So what do you do for a
Man.
living? Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh,
Stop asking
Okay.
questions.
so what do you do?
Oh, those people are mean. Okay, so he gained great fame among spies for his intelligence gathering contributions. I like being a famous spy among spies. I like that idea. They have like baseball cards of like spies. Contributions during World War II. He worked. He
on the
worked as
back.
a journalist in Japan.
Collectible.
He worked
Chewing
as
gum.
a journalist in Japan and Germany. He organized a spy network in Japan. And like, how do you? Okay, do you just put a note on a community board, like a phone number that you can take off?
No. You don't know anything about being a
don't
spy.
know.
Keep going.
You put a
All right.
cryptic message that if people are able to decrypt, Then they get an interview, and
That's
if they
true.
fail the interview,
Okay.
they die.
Yeah, obviously.
It's true.
maybe
Japanese spy network in Japan advised the Soviets that the Japanese wouldn't attack the Soviet Union in the near future. This to move their far eastern forces to the Western Front to confront the German army. Arrested in 1941, he was found guilty of spying. No, and eventually hanged. Ooh. Yep. Aldrich Ames. It just sounds like a spy. 1941. He's still alive. Yeah, Aldrich Ames was a Soviet double agent and served as a CIA counterintelligence officer when he was assigned to the CIA's European office. He and about 100 CIA operatives. This also led to the execution of at least 10 CIA agents. He even got paid $4.6 million for giving the USSR the names of all the CIA agents who were working in their country. He was finally caught and is now for life. Okay, is in prison for life.
I would assume it means he's imprisoned in Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Wait, so he was a double agent for them?
For them.
In the okay.
Yes.
Whenever it
So
like
basically
goes
he
from
was-
double and beyond, it's like
so
I don't
basically
know.
he was assigned to the European field office and gave up the names of the actual field agents, not working in the office, but the actual
right.
field agents in the country
Okay.
to the USSR.
Okay.
I think we should start a spy company.
Private spy organization,
Yeah, why not? Like a PMC, but
with spies.
Yeah.
It's probably not terrible. Isn't that what
advertise it-
ISIS is supposed to be in Archer?
Yeah.
Isn't
I
it
don't
technically a
It's
private
a private-owned
intelligence
Interesting.
organization?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because the entire
Can
time
I be
they think
Archer?
that-
That'd be sweet.
We get there's a requirement. You have to be awesome to be a spy.
Already there, baby.
Like, do you want a tuxedo or a suit? Answer correctly. Anyway, number 7, the Cambridge Five, 20th century. Okay. The Cambridge Five was the name given to us to who wrote this? My goodness. To a Soviet spies, to a group of Soviet spies recruited in the United Kingdom for delivering information to the Soviets during World War II. They were given this name because all of them studied communism while completing their degrees at Cambridge University. One of their duties was to pass misinformation to the Nazis. One of the 5 ring members has never been identified. Ooh,
he's still
interesting.
out there,
Christopher
possibly.
Lee. I'm just saying.
Christopher Lee. They got him finally.
Yeah.
They killed him with old age.
So I can just imagine. There were a lot of spies going around from country to country in
Yes,
World War II.
that is
My
true.
word.
Yeah.
Well, it was like a world
War II. I understand. But at that point, as any government official, how can you trust anyone? You probably couldn't.
You couldn't. That was
couldn't.
the problem.
That's-
Yeah,
I
that's the
think
problem.
it's probably one of those ones where it's like you really can't trust anyone, but at the end of the day, what's your other option?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Look, that's a direct order.
You
Yes,
trust as far as
sir.
necessity requires.
That's true. Yeah. All right.
Because you would trust them to get you information, but definitely would not trust them with information. So it would be more of you may be getting misinformation like that one, those spies were, but you're very rarely giving up information. So it's less risk.
True. Yeah. Number 8, Julius and Ethel Rosenberg, 1915 to 1953, 1918. Okay, I see what happened here. Julius and Ethel Rosenberg are still among the most recognized spy names. They were both American communists. The husband and wife team passed nuclear secrets to the Soviets. They're just getting nuclear secrets left
I
and
wonder
right.
if this is where the
My
American
goodness.
spies
That's what I
come
was just
from.
thinking.
Probably. Julius was the first to be recruited by the KGB and passed classified designs and reports from Emerson Radio to the KGB, including a fuse design, and his wife Ethel typed documents for him. Both Julius and Ethel were found guilty of espionage and were executed by electric chair in Sing Sing Correctional Facility in 1953.
I like the idea of this because the way it makes it sound is like he was recruited, right?
Yes.
Obviously to spy
Yes.
for the USSR. And then implemented her when he had her type up documents.
She was actually in the other room, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, my wife heard this. She's into."
She's cool with it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about
Yeah.
it. Plus,
Yeah.
I've already had her type up documents. She's been reading them.
Can you imagine the first
She's not paying
conversation?
attention,
though?
really.
Like, she's doing the dish. She's like, "Hey, sweetheart, there's something I wanted to talk to you about." She's like, "Oh, no, is everything okay?" He's like, "Yeah. Everything's fine. Don't worry. I was just wondering if you wanted to, with me,
Together.
betray our country." Yeah.
As a
okay,
couple.
awesome.
And
As
she's,
a couple.
and
As a
she's
couple.
like, I don't really know. He's like, well, I kind of already agreed.
So I also told them you would type up the documents for us. I mean, you're really
Either
good at
you're
typing.
in or I got to murder you. It's your choice.
I mean, you could type or I could type. I mean, I type like,
yeah, it's going to take forever.
yeah. So, yeah, basically you're in. All right, number 9, Sidney Riley, 1873 to 1925, known as the Ace of Spies. I want that. Yes, and that theme song. Sidney Riley was one of the most famous spies of the 20th century. Recruited by Scotland Yard, he influenced world history through his acts of sheer something.
Period.
Sheer
That's what it ends with,
period.
everyone. The sentence ends. He altered the world with his sheer.
All right, I'm gonna interrupt this. Okay?
Yes, go ahead.
For
Go
this
ahead.
little bit of a conspiracy, I'm gonna throw in here.
Please add.
Hit me.
That all of these missed words actually spell some like a sentence
they're
that
all
is a hidden
redacted
message.
now.
We should look at it.
Ah.
I mean, we are going through a list of spies.
Interesting.
True.
Maybe this is how you become a spy.
Yeah.
It's all off this website.
I'm just saying, how cool would that be?
I like it.
Actually
if
looked
the
up-
skipped words made a sentence.
I like it.
I looked up.
They're not really dead.
I looked up spy requirements, like what it takes to become a spy,
Okay.
and
And then
basically
the SWAT
it's,
team
and
showed up
it's
at your house.
basically-
And it
was not this.
Yeah.
404
not
not
Googling
found.
it
Yeah.
is really
Yeah.
how it works.
pretty much. But it was
You
things
gotta
like
bing that kind of
you,
stuff.
you need a degree because
Yes.
they want people educated.
They do want, yes, from some
physically
form.
healthy.
Yes.
like younger the better.
Yes.
Yeah. So things like that, like basic, like
The more attractive,
Can you-
the better.
can
People
you
tend
lift-
to dismiss them.
true. Yes. Yep.
Or incredibly unattractive,
Yes.
because they also get dismissed.
So I could be a spy.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right. He was
Actually, one of my career options when I was getting out of the army was, and I obviously did not go through with it, but they were looking for security operators for the CIA.
cool.
Because they take prior
Yeah,
military if you've
right.
had special operations or combat arms
Right.
training. So
That would have been cool. Oh, I forgot Chuck. Chuck is a great spy too.
Chuck is a good spy. I love that show.
Man, that was a great show. All right, he was a master spy, a charmer, an extraordinary con man, and a cad who knew how to live by his wits.
What's a cad?
Yeah, he
I
spied
don't
in
use that word
Japan.
enough anymore.
Oh, he spied in Japan, Germany, and Canada, and a number of other countries. He was also the master. He was also the mastermind behind the plan to the Russian.
I'm just
Government.
picturing Canadian
world.
paladins in D&D now.
Canadians.
Canadians.
Riley was executed in Moscow on November 5th, 1925.
He was behind the plan. He was the mastermind behind the plan to the Russian government. What was the plan?
They won't tell us a plan. I'm sure there was a
Damn
plan.
Canadians.
There's some plan.
Canadians.
Yeah. So this is like the textbook spy. It seems like.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
why would you spy in Canada?
Well, maybe
It's just Montana.
maybe they spied because they were like they're little.
They're a
There's
little too
no
quiet.
way they
Yeah,
can be
yeah,
this
yeah,
quiet.
yeah.
There's got to be something
A little
going
too
up
quiet.
there.
Damn
So what's going on up
Canadians.
here? We're all spies, eh? Like
There's
it's
something in
just
the
like-
syrup.
There's something in the syrup. It's just a country
We're all
of spies.
spacey. He got to Canada and he discovered that it was all a practical joke by Montana.
Yes. He's like, well done.
And he found it
Well done.
so hilarious he did not
Just didn't tell
reveal it to
anybody. Yeah,
anyone.
yeah.
He's like, your secret is safe with me.
Or maybe not.
Number 10, Frederick Jordbert de Cassin.
Yeah, sure. The
Why not? 1877 to 1956. In the Second Beer War, Frederick Hubert de Cassin was an officer and a bear spy.
I thought you said beer war.
Well, I mean, depends on the pronunciation.
The French went to war with the
Yeah.
Germans over the beer.
He was known as Black Panther. On different occasions, he was a newspaper reporter, a novelist, a pimp, and a secret agent for Germany. He was the member.
Did it mean the same thing back then? That's my question.
I'm sure it
I
did.
hope so.
I'm sure it did.
I hope so.
He was the member of the largest Nazi spy ring that operated during World War II. He also carried out many sabotage missions in Great Britain, South Africa, the United States, and Central and South America. This guy got around.
Yeah, he did.
He was
a pimp.
He was captured many times.
He was a straight pimp.
He was captured many times, but he often successfully escaped prisons. He even feigned paralysis for 5 months when he was about to be deported to
That's
England
impressive.
for execution.
I can
However,
see why he's
pretty-
known very well.
Yeah.
well, I'm sure they tested it, like stab him.
That's what I'm saying. That's impressive.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
Like
How you
that.
fake
Yeah.
paralysis. Just
And not
don't move, don't move.
for
What is he
5
whispering?
months?
He's whispering, don't move.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, sure,
Yeah.
a couple hours I could fake paralysis.
Or like maybe a couple
5
days.
months.
Like,
5
okay,
months.
but that's insane.
I mean, Yeah, that
Dude's
is
impressive. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously he betrayed a lot of countries.
Right.
But
However,
it's impressive.
It is impressive. In 1941, Duquesne and other Nazi spies were arrested on charges of providing the information of U.S. shipping movements and weaponry to Germany. He did not escape this time and died when he was 78 years old.
Here's my thing. So, so hypothetically, if you're aware that this man is the spy, right? You have,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously our intelligence agencies at the time would have had dossiers of potential spies,
Yes.
of people they thought were
Yes.
spies, yada, yada, yada. If you caught him and you were aware that he had escaped several times, I probably would have just shot him on sight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, okay, we've caught this
do
guy
you mean?
before.
Yeah.
He's escaped 5 times.
But
Isn't that-
do
is
they
that
know
like-
it's good?
Well, that's what I'm
isn't
saying.
that
If you
Joker
found out-
logic, though?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that would be.
He obviously was very
considering this
good at
guy,
being a
Yeah,
spy,
he must
yeah.
have been really good at appearing to be someone
Yeah.
different each time.
Yes.
Plus, there's also the whole if he is such a good spy, you can use that as leverage.
True, yeah.
True. Keep him
And,
alive.
like,
he knows stuff.
You keep him alive
Yeah.
because he knows stuff. Either try and get information from him
can turn
or
him.
Trade
Turn
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
like I mean that's a big one. Is a lot of
I'm
people
telling
get
you.
held for trades.
It's like spy trading
Okay,
cards.
okay.
Yeah.
I'll give
Yeah.
you 4 spies, but you got to give me 3 of your really
all
good
right.
ones.
Go spy.
No, yeah.
Go spy.
Go spy. That's just like presidents and
He's-
like
he's
leaders
like,
are like,
Do you have a man with glasses and curly hair? Go spy. Ah,
Guess who?
guess who? That is the end of that list. And I was actually going to look up another
You cad.
lady spy.
We don't use that
You
enough. these days,
cad.
man. We don't use
You
that enough.
what does that
cad.
even mean?
I don't know.
So-
Yeah, look it up real quick because I might want to use that if it's a cool word and still means cool things.
cad.
CAD definition. All right, I'm going to read this real fast. Virginia Hall, American Second World War spy. This is a picture of her receiving the Distinguished Service Cross. Having lost her
She didn't
leg.
get to keep it though. Otherwise, people
All right,
would
now give
know
it back.
she's a spy.
That's
Now give it
true.
back.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
mine now.
So that very common old lady over there. Why is she wearing a medal?
No reason.
No reason.
And brandishing a shotgun. Just real quick, a cad is a man who behaves dishonorably, especially toward a woman.
Oh, so not suave.
Stop being such a cad.
Yeah.
Nowadays we call that a chad. Slightly different.
But very similar,
Very
actually.
similar, yeah.
Having lost, okay, so her name is Virginia Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Having lost her leg in a hunting accident in 1932 whilst working at the American Embassy in Poland at the age of 26, Virginia had a wooden leg from the knee down, which meant that she had to give up her plans to work as a U.S. diplomat overseas. However, when the Second World War broke out, she made a
leg.
bold move. That would have been awesome. She made a bold move and became the first female in France working for the SCO, a special branch of the British parliamentary. Using the cover of an American journalist, Hall built up the French resistance and assisted the stranded Allied soldiers in occupied areas of France. When the Germans finally took control of the rest of France, she escaped to Spain on foot through the Pyrenees Mountains, continuing her efforts in
Not
Spain.
on feet.
No,
Just about, I was just
Just on
thinking
foot.
that.
my wife, I was reading this to her earlier. She made the same joke. Continuing her efforts in Spain, she was awarded an MBE by the British in 1943 for her work. Despite being at the top of the Gestapo's wanted list, Hall went back to France to continue her work a short while later, this time as an American spy disguised as an elderly lady. Her work included training 3 battalions of the French resistance, organizing missions to sabotage and capture the enemy, and keeping the Allies up to date with the movements of the German army by radio. To the anger of the Gestapo, she was never captured. After the war, she was awarded the second highest U.S. military award and worked for the CIA for the rest of her life. Clearly the work of the world's greatest female spy. That is quite the rap sheet.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. After sustaining like a life-changing injury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. We should make a
I
movie
feel
about
like she, at that one point where they're like, surprisingly enough, being so wanted, she went back. I could just picture her being like, I am so bored. I need a challenge.
I'm sure that's, yeah. Like, I'm not making a difference. What am I doing?
Well, I
I'm
mean,
gonna go
realistically,
back,
at
yeah.
that point, if you felt strongly enough about it, which I think the idea that stopping the Nazis, probably a lot of people felt strongly about. You know,
I think
yeah.
so.
traveling back and doing what you could to help free France. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even have a joke there.
No.
I was waiting.
Yeah, I know.
I was like,
Just an amazing woman.
Where's
who,
it gonna go?
Where's the old switcheroo?
Yeah. I honestly think that should be turned into a movie.
That would be an awesome movie.
That would be an
yeah.
awesome movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll call it The Woman with the Wooden Leg.
They probably
Instead of
wouldn't
the girl
call
with
it
the
that.
dragon tattoo. I don't know.
Although if Hollywood really Hollywoods it up, they will turn her leg into a gun or something.
Something. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
The
I mean,
movies-
just imagine if she just like
it's the true historical story, written and directed by Michael Bay.
Yes.
she climbs
Her
up
leg
the mountain,
is a
looks back, and an
transformer.
explosion goes up.
Then whips at her leg.
Which you didn't realize.
She
I
needs
have a
like
gun in here.
she needs like 10 one-liners.
Yeah, of course.
And
she will be played by The Rock,
The Rock in a
in
dress.
quite possibly his most defining role ever.
Oh man.
No,
What?
I don't know. I don't even know
Why
what I'm
not?
saying anymore.
Why not? All right, so we're gonna switch
Picturing
gears.
The Rock in
In
a wig.
trying to do a French accent.
I'm essentially picturing if The Rock tried to dress up as Maui from Moana,
Yeah, kinda,
but
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
like have like the tattoos
Yeah,
or
yes.
anything like that, but had like the curly hair wig. That's
I can imagine someone like Kate Blanchett playing that role or something.
Yeah, I can see that.
Someone that is unassuming. You
Yeah,
would never
yeah,
suspect
yeah,
them to
yeah.
be a spy.
Right.
Unless Kate Blanchett is a spy. Or maybe not. That's your line.
if she was
ScarJo.
she would
Scarlett
show
Johansson.
up. If she was an actual
Yeah.
spy, she
J-Lo.
definitely would go because plausible deniability.
true.
They'd be like, "Are you a spy?"
Yeah.
And she could pass any lie detector and
That's
say,
true.
"Yeah, I am a spy."
What are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
We're going to arrest you. Oh.
Oh, damn.
I didn't-
Probably
no, I'm
shouldn't
not,
confess.
I'm not a spy. I'm not a spy. Trust me. All right. So
Trust
Are
me,
you a spy?
I sell
You gotta say
secrets. I pinky promise I'm not a spy.
I would like to think that Mike Myers, Austin Powers, is actually based
Michael
on his
Myers.
real
Michael
life.
Myers. I was gonna say,
Mike
isn't
Myers
that
is
the
the
serial
stabby
killer?
stabby.
Michael Myers,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
So you're like, is that like?
That's the stabby, yeah.
Now I want Mike Myers to play Michael Myers.
That'd be an awesome movie.
Oh,
That would be
man.
really
I'm
good.
sure. Yeah, I'm sure that joke has been thrown out 100 times. But I would like to think that Austin Powers is based on his actual life. No, he actually based the character on his uncle or something,
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. which is awesome.
His uncle hates the Dutch.
His uncle hates
Two things I hate in this world: people who can't tolerate other people's cultures, and the Dutch.
I can't imagine, like, why the Dutch of all people.
That was the best part of
Like,
that
oh
line
my
because it made no
goodness.
sense. It was out of nowhere.
And then,
And then they explain in the third movie
yeah.
finally. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man, that's hilarious.
Third movie?
yes.
Yeah.
So we're gonna switch gears a
Because
little
then you
bit.
learn that they're brothers
Yeah, and he's Dutch. He was taken by the evil Dutch.
in a tripod.
Oh.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
are going to talk about the greatest spies among us,
Me?
extraterrestrial spies.
Oh,
Aw, shiz.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because believe it or not, there aren't a ton of like lists. I don't know.
who comes up with these graphics?
You
know
just Google them and then they just throw on whatever they want.
Weird looking alien porn thing.
It's pretty weird.
That to me is like the start of an alien porn scene.
Yeah, yeah. What's about to go down? I don't know.
It does.
Thank you.
The title of this article is "Alien Hybrids Walk Among Us as Spies" by OrionSunset.com.
Or maybe not.
What?
I was waving because I'm an alien hybrid that walk among you as a spy.
That's true. That's true. Most people are coming around to the idea that aliens exist. More people are starting to believe that aliens visit the Earth too. What if I told you that the alien agenda goes much further than that? Aliens aren't just watching humans from a distance, but they are walking among us disguised as people. After years of abducting humans and taking their genetic material, they made alien-human hybrids
I just
with
get mine
the
willy-nilly.
intention of blending in and keeping watch over us. Not only does the U.S. government know about these hybrid aliens, but they are helping them.
What?
Yes. Alien hybrid takeover. You may be wondering why aliens would go through so much trouble to infiltrate humanity. The answer is simple. Aliens don't consider themselves visitors on Earth. They have been here as long as humans have. Connect that for me. Maybe even longer. Living side by side, they have let us grow as a civilization without hindering us.
Well, that's nice.
Well,
of
we've
them.
taken up a lot of space. I wonder where they're hiding.
Underground,
Yeah, probably.
in space.
They
Cloak.
believe that we have a right to exist on the Earth as well as they do. The only problem is
There's one right here.
Hey,
stop
stop
it.
it.
The only problem is that the aliens don't trust humans. We are a young civilization.
Well,
that is-
obviously,
mean,
they've
that's
been
smart.
watching our
I-
history
yeah,
for this
yeah.
whole time. Yeah.
I barely
that's-
trust humans.
That's legitimately one of my theories as to why we haven't made first contact.
Oh,
yet.
yeah.
Like they look at like this is how they treat members of their own species.
Oh, yeah.
Like
100%.
we're not even
We've
the
said
same
that several
species.
times, I think.
Yeah. How are they going to treat us? Or they just, I mean, they could probably wipe us out, but they probably just don't want to deal with the
Paperwork?
the heartache
Oh.
of the paperwork. Yeah.
Yeah. The galactic alien government. You got to do paperwork every time you nuke a planet.
We are a young civilization that is prone to violence. People will kill each other over the dumbest things. We threaten to destroy the planet in the process. Aliens realize the need to keep tabs on us. The best way to do this is with a hybrid class of aliens that could blend in with us and help mold our future.
Like species.
Yes. Wait, I thought that was just like a...
Hot alien woman.
Yeah.
Who then became a monster and killed you after you made it.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
how is that blending in?
Because she looks like a hot woman beforehand.
That's true.
Did you not see the movie?
When I was a kid, I actually thought it was just a porn.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
basically
I mean, basically it was.
Basically it was, yeah.
Yeah.
But legitimately, I was like,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
is this?
Ooh.
Aliens are already in the government. The alien hybrids are putting themselves in places of power. Every government in the world has alien spies working for them. These aliens are like sleeper cells. They keep watch on government actions and try to keep us in line. It's not their plan to take over governments, but to be advisors. That's what they all say.
Yeah.
Or advise. It has long been believed that aliens possess psychic abilities. Some people believe they can read our minds as well as influence them. With these advanced abilities, I was going to say a joke and I decided not to. Aliens could easily control humans by force and make us do whatever they want. Fortunately, this doesn't seem to be their plan. How do I know? If that's what they wanted, then they would have done it already. Or that's what they want you to think.
That's pretty good logic, I guess.
Yeah. Aliens learned thousands of years ago that if they show themselves to us, that we will consider them gods. They may have been acceptable to them for a while because they continued to let it happen, but at some point they decided this was not a good idea. Like, yeah, they're
really reaching with his logic.
Yeah.
It was just a wee bit.
So they just decided not to be revered as gods at some point.
They were like,
all the
too much
worshiping's
pressure.
getting old.
It's getting
honestly.
old. It's just not a
Yeah.
challenge anymore. We tell them
you
to
can
do
only-
something,
And they kept trying to
it.
smite people, but then they worshiped them even more, and they
Yeah.
were like, well, now I don't even know what to do.
There's only so many places I can put all those virgins they keep sacrificing to me. Run out of cupboard space.
And really, they should just stop. We aren't exactly sure why they decided this, but aliens pulled themselves out of our society, seemingly for good. Behind the scenes, they had another plan to keep us in line. The government has to know about alien hybrids.
They're both gas and electric. Alien hybrids.
Oh, man. People like to throw around the phrase
Get better
conspiracy theory.
mileage.
What?
They get better mileage. Better for you.
Oh, man. I prefer my aliens all electric.
Do you?
Yes.
Then you gotta plug them in.
Yes.
Keep going.
We're the gas-powered versions.
Technically.
It's true. They act like, okay, so people like to throw around the phrase conspiracy theory. I do find it funny.
We don't. We never throw that.
Oh, no. I want to, okay, so you know how people say, like, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I want to flip that around. Like, I'm a conspiracy theorist, but
I do think we landed on the moon.
I do think we landed on the moon.
Just full switcheroo.
Full switcheroo.
Of course, I think that the government is lying to us, but I do think we landed on the moon.
Yeah. Obviously, the Earth is hollow and flat,
But I do think Nazis live on the moon currently. Or I don't think Nazis live on the moon currently.
Oh, man.
Sorry, keep going.
Or the opposite, like, so I normally get really political, but I have no comment on this. They act like it is synonymous with a lie or untruth. It is even used as a way to call some people crazy. There goes Joe talking about another conspiracy theory. It is true. It's a very easy way to just, like, shut somebody up.
That is true.
I think that the government is the ones that have tied the phrase conspiracy theory with the word lie. This is the way they can basically call any theory that they don't like about themselves a conspiracy theory. Well, technically, if it's not proven, it is a conspiracy theory.
Yes. Because otherwise it's just fact.
Yeah. I mean, but
Yes.
the argument,
Once
your argument is
Or
that
maybe not.
even if you present it as a fact and you have all the evidence, they can
Right.
still just say, it's just a conspiracy theory. And then
True, yes.
people are more likely just to discard
it
it.
is true,
and, like,
yeah.
Or they can
discard it, yeah.
refute whether or not what you
Your
came
facts
to the
are accurate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because that's the biggest one. Is a lot of people are, well, I have these facts, and they're like, yes, but I don't believe those facts are actually facts.
Just be like,
Right.
listen, I have photographic evidence of me standing with a clone of Hitler on the moon. He's holding today's newspaper. And that's it. And they're like, that's photoshopped.
That's Photoshop.
That's fake
Yeah,
news.
yeah.
No, it's an actual newspaper. No.
No.
Poor clone of Hitler. Just could never live
He's
it
just
down.
up in
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
Just up in space on the moon.
So that would be a show. Hitler in space.
That would be terrifying.
This is like the other
That'd be terrible.
the other day when Penny started talking about imaginary Hitler. How do we keep running
Yeah,
back to
How do we
this?
keep
I
going?
don't know.
Why do we circle around to Hitler so much these days? Anyway, keep going, Gary.
Maybe the
Well-
aliens are trying to steer us off topic.
With their mind control.
Influence. Mind influence.
Mind
Yeah,
influence.
not control.
Oh, that's
It's
not
kind
as
of like
bad.
Inception.
yeah,
Like you got to
yeah,
make them
it's-
think that it's their
right,
idea,
Right.
but
Makes
it's
sense.
not.
Well, technically, the alien hybrid theory is a conspiracy theory. It involves several people conspiring to achieve a goal. It is a theory. The mistake that people make is assuming that just because something is a conspiracy theory, that it is false. People are constantly caught in this person's basically arguing that like you can't prove it wrong. Well, I will
Yeah,
make
but
the
you can't
argument.
prove it true either.
You can't prove it true. Exactly. I would make the argument if you say like, yeah, the alien spies are among us. They look like us, sound like us, smell like us, eat the same things we eat. They basically live entirely human lives.
Right.
They can breathe the way we do. How can you disprove that? You can't.
Not realistically, no.
You stab everyone and see if they bleed the same color.
And then go to
That's
prison.
the only way
and
I
then
can
go
think.
to prison.
Yeah, but if
But-
the argument is that they look and sound and feel and blah, 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 everything exactly like us, how would stabbing them work?
Only one way to find out.
Yeah.
They're like, listen,
We wouldn't know until we stab an alien.
their biology is
Get a-
exactly like
Get a
ours.
blood. Yeah, just get a blood test.
But when you stab one of them, they
Explode.
bleed marshmallows.
Why is it not as street? It's just. Oh God! I'm
There's
bleeding.
that one subtle difference is the alien hybrids couldn't get right.
oh man.
Well, I mean,
I like their
there would
picture
have
of
to
alien
be-
hybrids that live among us is just a redheaded woman.
Oh, I've seen this picture used on 100 different things.
Have you?
Yeah, it's a very common like stock photo.
Oh, okay.
Okay, here's another theory. That strange person may really be an alien. Way to just like trivialize people. What's
that weirdo? Probably an alien.
Yeah.
Think about
What's
it.
the last?
I will say the one thing about before we grab into that is
man.
at what point would you, if they are so similar to us, would they not?
They're not
be
aliens
us?
then. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Right.
And if they've lived here for decades, then they're just humans.
Then they've just
Or
assimilated.
Earthlings,
Yeah,
yeah.
just
That's
assimilated.
what I
Yeah.
said.
Yeah. Like, hey, we're the same people. Like, if you stab me, do I bleed? Do we both watch The Office?
Do we both bleed marshmallows?
By that logic,
Yes,
let's
like,
say
Do you bleed into your hot coffee?
Let's say hypothetically,
Do you
right?
bleed into your eye?
So I
I love my blood with hot chocolate.
I mean, by the same logic, that would say
Yeah.
that, like, okay, so I was born and raised in Rhode Island, right?
Yeah.
I now live in Colorado. So if I have a kid here, that doesn't mean he's a Rhode Islander. It means he's Coloradan.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Coloradan?
Coloradoan.
Coloradoan.
Coloradoan, sure.
Coloradan.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, by the same logic. So if an alien comes from, let's say, Mars, okay,
As
comes
they
to
all do.
Earth.
They're
As
coming
they all
down to
do.
go, please don't nuke us.
Yeah.
And please do not send those snakes here.
So, hey.
But they come to Mars.
yeah.
They have
Yeah.
kids here. Let's say it's a hybrid. It looks like a human, sounds like a human, feels like a human, has all the same biology as a human.
Why are you feeling this kid?
Don't. Let's not go there. They're not Martians. They're Earthlings at that point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
There's no difference at that point.
yeah, there's no difference.
Yeah. So we've engineered and bred these aliens
On
to be human.
So they're humans.
So they're humans.
No,
No,
no. They bleed marshmallows.
They bleed marshmallows.
I don't know why I said marshmallows
Yeah.
either. It just popped in
I
my
like
head.
it.
What's your blood type? Marshmallow.
Marshmallow.
Well, technically jet puff.
You go
for
brand.
everyone
You
going
go
with brand.
brand.
Oh, yeah.
I like
yeah,
it.
yeah.
One can donate
Yeah.
to everyone.
Oh, so you've got the good blood.
Ooh.
All right. So this list is, again, top 10 different types of alien species on Earth.
Okay.
So they're here. There's 10 alien species on Earth. It's getting
Right.
crowded.
I've seen it in my movie.
Type 1, Zeta Reticulans or gray aliens, the most common type of aliens that are being seen across the globe by people
They're
of
like
all,
everywhere in the galaxy.
of all ages, is the Zeta Reticulan type, which is also commonly referred to as the grays. These extraterrestrial beings are typically 3 to 4 feet tall and have large almond-shaped black eyes. Their head is much larger than a regular human's head, and they have no noses, but only nostrils. Their arms are usually longer. That has not more than 3. Okay, their arms are usually longer. That has not more than 3 to 4 fingers. My goodness. Okay, it is the Zeta Reticulans who are thought to be the main culprits behind most human abductions. That's their thing. It's just their thing. It's what they do.
But if they just have weird hobbies, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like Greys on their home planet or whatever, like just normal people. And then there's like those weird few. It's like the big cat people.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They are.
There's just those
Hold
few.
up.
who
Are
like to
you
travel
saying
to
Carol
Earth.
Baskin is a
Yeah,
gray?
just try to stay with me.
Yeah.
There's just those few who decide to travel to Earth to probe us. Just because that's their thing.
That's their hobby.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
what they do.
Now that you have said that, I'm convinced Carol Baskin is a gray,
It's possible.
and that her first husband was catching on, and that's why she
That's
killed
possible. But you know what I'm saying? Like, what if like there's a normal society of Greys in the galaxy? Stay with me here. I'm not even really
Okay,
making a joke.
okay.
And they're just like, oh, those weirdos are going back to Earth. Why do they always do that?
Why do you
Yeah.
you just probe?
Yeah. What can they possibly be learning
Get
from
a
the rectal
different-
cavity of humans?
Yeah, get a different hobby. Your hobby is gross. Like, I'm just
Your
saying.
hobby is gross. Anyway, yeah. Sorry. Not even really just not
They're
even
like-
really a joke.
You
just
don't
a
even
thought
you don't
process.
even know that one of the Greys is like that's his hobby. You
Yeah,
walk
yeah,
into his
yeah.
house, like, hey, where are the scissors? He opens the drawer. Oh,
Oh man,
yeah, that's where I keep my probes.
my bad. My bad. I don't wash them either.
I don't wash them either.
Yeah.
And like a cast iron skillet.
Yeah. You gotta get people the flavors.
Oh, man. Type 2. Little green men.
That one's creepy looking.
It is super creepy. I don't know what it's from.
It's got to be from a movie or something.
Oh, yeah, it's from a movie. Because whoever made this list is like, I don't know, that looks creepy.
Yeah, that's
So
actually
that one,
real
yeah.
footage.
Yeah, that's actually.
Yeah, another comment. He's like, don't take a picture of me.
No, my bad side.
Another common type of alien is the little green men that have reported to have been sighted by different people in different places. Go figure. These types of extraterrestrials are humanoid creatures with a greenish skin color, and their bodies are devoid of any hair. Some of the little green men have been reported to have antennas on their heads, which are much larger than a regular human head.
And that's
Okay,
their,
so
that's their
little green
sex
men.
organs. That's why they wear
like
hats.
the Jagons.
Yeah, like the
South
Jagons.
Park.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The Nordic aliens look hot.
Nordic aliens. The Nordics would
Those
look
are
just...
elves.
They do look like high elves or something.
Yeah.
The Nordics would look just like humans, and they would have long blonde hair that would be maintained by both male aliens as well as the female ones. So like elves. These aliens are not identifiable even if they walk among a crowd, unless they look like Orlando Bloom. The only way to identify them is when they manifest some of their extraterrestrial activities.
Like probing.
Like probing. These aliens, the Intergalactic Probing Society. These aliens usually have angular faces with blue eyes. The females of the Nordic alien types have a high sex appeal.
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Is that why everyone's into elves?
So what they're saying is, like, Northern European individuals are extraterrestrials.
That is
by
what it
this
seems like.
logic.
Well, I have seen the theory that the Norse gods were actually aliens,
Yes, that is
Yeah.
that's a common theory.
I can see.
which they then brought up in Marvel.
Someone once
in
said,
the Thor
yeah,
movie.
yeah. Someone once, it was like a meme I saw a long time ago. It was like, yeah, prove this didn't happen. Do you see any ice giants running around? Like,
Do you see any ice giants? Maybe.
maybe.
You don't know what I see. There's one.
But it was like proof that, like,
Yeah.
like
That
Thor,
Norse mythology isn't real.
Yeah. Type 4, Pleiadian aliens. The aliens of the Pleiadian type are characterized by round faces and tall figures, and the rest of the features are soft but detailed, like graphics. The overall appearance of the Pleiadians is a very pleasant one, and although they do not have hair usually, but if someone has any hair on the heads,
Who wrote this?
I'm just
this
gonna
is
say,
really falling apart. The
poor
hair
grammar really takes away from the legitimacy.
It really
of
does.
anything.
The hair is blonde colored. These
agree.
aliens are known to be very gentle and peace loving by nature.
That's nice of them.
Okay. Andromedan aliens. Ooh. You would mistake the Andromedan aliens to be human. So it's like a whole list of humans, as they
Okay,
look almost
all
like
right.
humans, with the only difference being in their overall size. These aliens are bipedal energy beings who can read the minds of humans by means of telepathy. Go ahead.
Well, so like the argument is that like, all right. People who live in like in the Nordic areas, aliens. All right, no. People who live in the really far southern areas, aliens. Okay, now.
Yeah.
Essentially, they go, "Where? Okay, do you want to live here? No, you don't. Why not? It's cold. Okay,
Aliens.
so they're aliens.
Yeah.
Australians? Those are just prisoners from different places that we threw there.
You
But
can't, you
still.
can't spell Australians without aliens. I'm just saying.
And according to this,
Yeah. That works.
bald,
Alien. With hair? Alien.
alien.
Blondes? Alien.
So we're going back to the same idea. Alien spies are among us. They
Yes.
look, sound, act, and can fit in.
Just like
normal
these
humans.
lizard people.
Just like these lizard people. Type 6, reptilian aliens. Another very common type of
Don't
alien
tell
is
Benny
the...
about these.
He freaks out.
well, he only freaks out if he thinks they're reptilian, interdimensional angel
Shape-shifting alien.
Yes.
Yeah, angels. Yeah.
Another very common type of aliens is he really freaked out
He
about
did.
that
That
one.
was a funny
He
episode.
did.
Another very common type of aliens is reptilians, who are tall and have scales over their humanoid body structure. These aliens would have webbed feet and would look more or less like a reptile when you see them for the first time. Okay. Maybe.
Now I'm thinking that reptiles are aliens. They just stayed here a little too long. They just kind of
Well, they are.
Yeah.
They got. They're what is it? Cold-blooded. So they got here and they got a little cold, and they just
Exactly.
kind of like. laid
Doctor
down.
Who posits the theory that the reptilians were actually the first bipedal.
Doctor Who. My head
Yeah.
heard Dr. Seuss for some reason.
Dr.
I'm like,
Seuss,
what
a
Huge
the
conspiracy
heck?
theorist.
a
Yeah.
very strong advocate for
I
conspiracy
mean, actually,
theories
based
and
on
aliens among us.
based on his stories, I wouldn't be surprised if he
Sure,
believes
yeah.
in aliens.
Just
'cause
read
the
Hop
Grinch
on. Yeah.
is a
Just
green.
yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Just read Hop on Pop upside down and backwards.
Oh, you
Scare
totally
the living
sinks
lights.
right
Oh,
up.
yeah.
If you do it while listening to Dark Side of the Moon,
On reverse.
sinks up like you wouldn't believe.
Like you wouldn't even believe.
All right, sorry. Doctor Who.
Yeah, Doctor Who posits the idea, and I think it's a fun theory that reptilians were actually the first bipedal evolution of like humanoid creatures on this planet.
Okay.
They've left because they knew the asteroid was coming, and they learned.
We gotta get the hell out of here.
Yeah, basically, like we're getting out of here, and then like
What
some
about the
of them,
hairless monkeys? Nah, leave them. They'll be fine.
They'll be fine. Exactly.
I heard they ripped Paul's tail off last week. Leave them.
They're
Leave
fine.
'em.
I mean, it grew back.
It grew back. It'll be fine. It's
Not
still
that
hurt.
big. It got better. It got better.
Okay, it was like a nice, like fresh tail.
That's just from Galaxy Quest.
Yeah. Alpha Draconian, the most corrupt. Well, I think all these images are just like, that looks about right.
No.
Because these alien races are like genuine theories.
Yeah.
So Alpha Draconian, the most corrupt, hostile, and vicious type of aliens are the Alpha Draconian. These aliens are believed to have come from Alpha Draconis and are characterized by giant reptilian features. These aliens are about 14 to 22 feet tall.
It's pretty big.
And weigh approximately 1,800 pounds or more. They believe themselves to be the rightful owners of the humans who are lesser evolved beings as per their standards. Okay, very high standards. Yeah,
I think I saw that on Battlefield Earth.
probably.
Yeah.
Isn't that a Scientology movie?
It was written by L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, aren't there like Scientological
Possibly. I don't know. He wrote a bunch of
concepts in it?
sci-fi novels before he became a prophet.
So a sci-fi writer, never mind. I'm not going to go there. Type 8, Syrians. Do you have to call it? Okay. Syrians aliens. Siri aliens. This is
Siri is an alien.
yeah, Siri is an
Listen,
alien.
you listen to
They're
Siri
actually
talk.
individual.
Doesn't look like it could be that woman.
It does.
It looks like
actually.
Cortana.
It's actually from Farscape. This race is from Farscape. The Syrians are those types of aliens that, in spite of having a humanoid structure, prefer to live around in the water.
Yeah.
These aquatic aliens are mostly found in oceans and lakes where there is huge depth. I think this is translated.
Mermaids.
I think this page is translated. They are known to have come from the Sirius B star system.
So they're mermaids.
Now they live in our water. Yeah.
They're
Mermaids.
They're mermaliens.
The mermaids. Ooh, mermaliens.
I like that. Yeah, that's
That would be
solid.
a
Yeah, that's
great-
pretty good.
That
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
a great movie. Mermaliens. It would be like a B movie back in the 90s on the Sci-Fi Channel.
But these days with the CGI.
I would say, or a big blockbuster now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Type 9, Anunnaki aliens.
Something about this one doesn't sit right with me.
The ancient Sumerians used to worship the Anunnaki as their gods. The Anunnaki. Oh, this is the race that was worshipped as gods. The
look
Anunnaki
like
is nothing but aliens that had visited the planet. What?
Said it just looks like an albino person.
Visited the planet of Earth around 4,000 years ago with the intention of enslaving humans to carry out farm work with them. So the concept or the plot to Stargate. The Anunnaki aliens look exactly like humans, as they usually do, but they are slightly larger than the aliens, with average height being 8 to 9 feet.
So wait,
I think an
idea
8-foot person would stand out in a crowd.
The idea is that they came here to enslave humanity to help them with farming. Mm-hmm. So they have the ability to travel the stars, but not come up with like an automated system to water their roses?
Nope, not at all.
Okay, just checking.
Nope. They were starving.
Could probably do that, but we still have farmers.
But we don't. Well, yeah.
Yeah, but you're not going to travel the galaxy.
Yeah, I was going to say, but we don't have the ability to go to another planet.
Think about it. We have certain locations where farmland is, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, if aliens could literally turn an entire planet into their farmland,
that's true, I suppose. Yeah.
You wouldn't have to worry about
and have other people
else.
do the work for them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then you just become intergalactic migrant farmers.
Yeah. You know what's great is they worship us as gods. So win-win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We pretty much just tell them to do it.
These aliens are believed to have come from Nibiru, the 12th planet in our solar system, which lies beyond Pluto and is yet to be discovered. Great. I love lines like that.
Therefore, you cannot dispute.
They're from a planet. Which one?
Hey,
the
hey,
12th
hey.
one. There's not 12. Exactly.
Exactly. You're just a conspiracy theorist. Hey, that's derogatory.
Yeah.
I consider myself a conspiracy
Factist.
theorizer. Yeah.
Factist.
A factist. A conspiracy
factist.
Thank you. Was it Parks and Rec had the Parks and Rec had the it was like a cult that worshipped this like lizard god, and they called themselves the Reasonableists.
Yeah.
Like, why'd you change your name? Well, nobody wants to fight against a group called the Reasonableists. Like, that's actually really smart. The Arcturians are usually 4 to 5 feet tall with large heads and blue skin. The rest of their bodies, I'd like to see them, these blue guys, like get mistaken for these blue guys all the time and be really offended by it. The rest of their bodies are highly disproportionate. Oh, highly. Yeah, says a human. You mean by human standards?
Alienists.
These types of aliens are believed to be the most ancient race of the entire Milky Way galaxy, and they are considered to be very intelligent, experienced, and innovative. Oh. They sound nice.
I was going to say, they don't sound that bad.
Yeah.
Except for the weird ones that like to probe as a hobby.
You just don't understand me. You don't understand me and my hobbies.
I learned from you, Dad.
I learned from you.
I learned by watching you.
He's like, I gave up my probing in college.
It's like, yeah, Dad, what's in that drawer? No, don't open it. I can smell it from here.
It's got weird.
And everybody else can. Everybody that walks into our house, they know. You don't think they know.
I would like to discover aliens. I still maintain by the end of 2020 our first contact with warlike aliens. That's the way our year is going.
That's the natural.
That's the way our year is
succession of
going.
things.
Yeah.
Let's be honest though. If aliens arrived, there would be people going, no. It's not aliens. They must be humans that left a long time ago that have now come back after forever.
Mm-hmm. We don't use the term aliens. Only they can use that.
It actually turns out they had left before the dinosaurs got extinct. One of them came back and kind of crashed.
They prefer the term,
but we thought it was an asteroid, but it was actually one of the bad drivers from the group.
They prefer the term.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if the aliens showed up and they're like, "Hey, have you seen those dinosaurs we left here?
We promised we were going to come back.
Yeah, we left out enough food for them, but
yeah. No,
that'd be really funny.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I left the AC on.
Left the AC on. We tried launching an asteroid at him. We figured that would cool everything off.
Oh, man. Yeah, who knew it would cause a nuclear winter of sorts? I think they prefer the term pre-terrestrialists. Yeah. So, now we've gone from real spies.
Good title, actually, pre-terrestrial. We've come up with some good titles today.
Yeah, we do. Pre-terrestrials. I would like to see one of them get genuinely offended. Like, so what is it like being an alien?
Oh, no, we're from here.
We are pre-terrestrials.
You're the
aliens.
seeded this planet. I'm
You
sorry?
see that mountain? That was a small hill when I was here.
It's like those humans always thinking we're here to probe them. You know, you get one
And
bad
we
batch
are.
of aliens, and we are.
You know
What
what?
are you going to do?
Just because you want us to,
We're
gonna do it.
Give you something to cry about.
Here you go. No, not one of the new ones. We did one of the seasoned ones.
Season.
You compared it. You compared it
well,
to
that's true. I
like
started
a
the joke.
skillet.
You compared it to a skillet.
You compared it to a skillet.
Yeah.
I know,
A
it's just
seasoned probe.
Yeah.
Where are we going with this? Don't
I
put
don't
that
know.
on a
We're
t-shirt.
like at the end.
Don't put that on a t-shirt.
How's your probe? Nice and seasoned.
Seasoned. Don't wash it.
You lose all the flavors.
Let's wrap this up. This
We
is
need to
getting
end this.
insane.
This is ridiculous. Okay. So we've gone from real spies
Yes. Alien
to,
spies.
to aliens living among us
I'm
to
both.
10
Oddly enough.
You're the hybrid.
10 different types of alien species on Earth, probably living as spies.
And I think we can agree of all the alien species, the Arcturians look the coolest and sound like they would be probably pretty chill.
Which ones were the
The last one.
Yeah, the last one. Yeah,
The
yeah.
Arcturians.
Yeah, they just
And the
look like
Nordics are the hottest.
they look like the serious ones. Like they look like the ones
Yeah.
that
They would
actually
show
take
up-
their job seriously.
It's like the
Yes.
Vulcans.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
logical.
Looking around at everybody like they're a bunch of idiots.
You guys are dumb.
And you got the Nordic aliens. You're like, how you doing?
They are the top on the would bang list.
Oh man!
It's turning
All
into a weird
right.
show.
The bangable list of aliens.
man.
The big book of bangable
Top
aliens.
10 bangable aliens.
Told you we should have come here. I know. You're right. You see what they do with everything? They do this with everything.
Literally
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. There was a Good Place line. It was like, why is it when humans create something new, they immediately find a sex use
Version
for
of it.
Yeah, sex is like.
Yep.
All right. Thank you for watching this episode of the Mystery Cast right here on Tales of Earth.
We're sorry.
We are actually. There are some things we wish we could wash from your minds, and maybe we will.
Or maybe not.
Yeah. I am Gary on YouTube at Film Circuit and Twitter at Film Circuit and Instagram at Northwood
He's doing
Films.
the weird Kirk thing again.
This is Dan.
I am Dan. Also Dan T, producer on Twitter and Instagram, and Silu91 on Twitch.
This is our alien friend. Sorry, pre-terrestrial.
Thank you.
Yep.
Who you
Andy.
can find for I Am the Andy on Instagram
And Netflix.
and Netflix occasionally.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, also, side note.
Go glorp
We're
yourself.
looking.
Oh,
Yes, that's
sorry.
good.
Let's go, man.
I love the Illuminati, and next week we are doing a Q&A.
So give
So
us
get
more
your questions
cues
ready.
for us to A.
That sounded dirty. Bye.